Good morning to you all. My name is Greta Westwood and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Florence Nightingale Foundation. Thank you so much for joining our special event, the launch of the membership of the Florence Nightingale Foundation Academy. I am so thrilled you have joined us today, and I'm delighted and so proud to announce this as a new FNF initiative. But before I start, I'd like to, on behalf of the Florence Nightingale Foundation, thank you all so much for all that you do every day to advance the art of nursing and midwifery and to ensure our patients, their clients, women and communities receive the best possible care. Gosh, what a year it's been. The year of the nurse and midwife, the bicentenary of Florence Nightingale. We were all looking forward to so many celebratory events and fundraising events this year, but of course they were all cancelled. However, the launch of the FNF Academy membership was not cancelled. It was just postponed from April this year until today. So as we go through the slides and the presentations today, we'd like you to know that we are accepting your questions through the question and answer session at the end. So please use the question and answer button to pose any questions to us. So why we decided to create the FNF Academy and why do we want members to hear I hear you say? We've got Florence Nightingale Foundation scholars, and more recently we've got Florence Nightingale Foundation nurses and midwives who have undergone our leadership programs. But why would we want to do more? So just to go back a bit over the history, in 1934 the foundation was created in the UK, and we then committed to become a living memorial to Florence and continue to grow and her legacy. Of course, nursing midwifery has evolved over the last 160 years, and Florence established the first nursing school at St Thomas's in London. Just here giving a shout out to the Florence Nightingale Museum. This lovely tea towel designed by the museum depicts the many faces and uniforms of nursing and midwifery since Florence and her lamp. So to go back to the question, why do we want to do it? So our scholars have achieved many things, from large, small-scale improvement projects. They've changed practice through policy influence, and the majority have gone on to have significant career progression. Some have become chief nurses, directors of midwifery, executive directors of nursing, and 2 have become CNOs, chief nursing officers, Ruth in England and Charlotte in Northern Ireland. And all of this has been achieved because nurses and midwives truly love their professions. They want to be their best. They want to do their best for their patients, the women they look after, the health of the communities in which they work. So our scholars and the alumni are doing amazing things. And we want to spread that FNF impact to many more nurses and midwives. And we want to nurture and develop the talent in your organisations. So membership of the FNF Academy offers benefits to you as the chief nurses, the most senior nurse or midwife in your organisation, but importantly to every nurse and midwife will also benefit from membership. So we want to continue Florence's legacy, not just for the few, but for the many. So just to remind you, Florence said, "When I'm no longer even a memory, just a name, I hope my voice may perpetuate the great work of my life." So what does that mean in numbers? We have 60 scholars every year, and that's an exclusive number. We don't want more, but we want to do more. So if 100 chief nurses agreed to sign up to the membership today, and assuming each chief nurse has about 3,000 nurses and midwives in their organisation, that we would immediately spread the Florence Nightingale effect to 300,000 nurses and midwives. So we've had a journey to get to where we are today. The Board of Trustees originally agreed the concept of the Florence Nightingale Foundation Academy in December 2017, and at the next meeting agreed that we should take the idea to a consultation group. I was really grateful, and I'm still grateful for the many chief nurses who happen to be alumni that form that consultation group. And the idea, as you might imagine, went through many iterations until they agreed the principles, including the plan, the member benefits, and the membership fee. So if Janice Sixworth is on the call today, she agreed that we had now developed a club that chief nurses would want to join. So thank you, Janice, for that. The Florence Nightingale Academy was launched at the House of Lords on the 6th of January 2020, and we had planned to launch the membership in April of this year. However, that wasn't proved to be appropriate timing, and we decided upon the September date. So from the idea to nearly 2 years ago today, marks many, many hours of hard work to get to this point. So today it gives me enormous pride to announce the launch of the FNF Academy. My amazing team will show you and demonstrate to you the benefits of the membership and talk through to the next steps. May I introduce you to the brilliant Dr. Gemma Stacey, who is the director of the FNF Academy. Thank you, Gemma.
Thank you so much, Gripa. So just to clarify the model that we're going to use to implement the membership of the FNF Academy, you as the most senior nurse in your organisation will be the member. But as Greta said, that all of the benefits are open to every nurse and midwife who is registered within your organisation. You will also have the opportunity to become member of the advisory group and also to contribute to an annual members meeting. And this will provide a very transparent approach to the implementation and the governance of the membership model, but also for you to be setting the priorities for FNF and to ensure that all of the membership benefits are absolutely current and meeting the needs of the nurses and midwives in your organisation year in, year out. So the benefits themselves, we've categorised into these 4 areas: leadership development, reputational, personal development, and also special events. The first of those is leadership development. So those of you who are members will have access to our virtual coaching sessions. This is a service that we call Nightingale Frontline. We've been providing it since the start of the COVID-19 response, and it is a service that enables the emotional well-being of nurses and midwives to be attended to, but also in the context of extraordinary leadership challenges that they're currently experiencing. It's a service that has gained great feedback, and it's one that we are committed to continuing whilst ever we hear from our members that this is something that their staff will value. We'll also provide you with early bird notification of all of our leadership and scholarship programmes when they open for advert. And this will enable your staff to have the head start. They'll have longer to prepare their applications, and we'll also provide them with workshops which will enable them to write the very best FNF application and improve their chances of success. Where you as an organisation do have successful applicants for the scholarships, we will waiver the £1,000 employee contribution that we would normally ask for from all of our successful applicants' employers. From a reputational perspective, we will be enabling you to utilise the FNF Academy branding in whatever way is helpful to your marketing and also to your recruitment as a trust or an organisation. We will also offer the opportunity for you to co-brand your internal leadership programmes with the FNF Academy, and this will be subject to an internal approval process, just to ensure that your programme does align itself with the key philosophies and core principles of the FNF approach to leadership development. We will also enable you to publicise any local events that you want to tell the networks about, and any achievements your organisation has made through our communication channels, which is really quite vast and far-reaching. In terms of the personal benefits, you will probably already see that there is huge value in the nature of the networking that we're offering here. But alongside that, we will also be providing a whole programme of webinars that will be targeted in a way that responds to what you tell us the nurses and midwives in your organisation would value. This year we've listened to our alumni, and we have planned a whole year programme of events around global health leadership, digital health leadership, writing for publication, disseminating practice, and also developing political acumen. We're also going to invite you as the senior member to join an online community. This is a secure online forum which will only be connected to other members of FNF and other senior nurses within their organisations, and will provide a safe environment for you to share, practice, seek out advice, understand how issues you're encountering are influencing others. We will set up opportunities for you to influence national policy through consultation events and FNF member forums, and also to media engagement events where we will ask you to provide your informed opinion to really enable the knowledge exchange between practice and the wider media, and particularly opportunity to provide case studies from your organisation and really showcase how you're addressing some of the core issues that are attracting media attention at that time. And finally, our special events also relate to our annual commemoration service, where we celebrate Florence Nightingale's birthday at Westminster Abbey. You will be VIP tickets for that particular event, and also invitations to all of our FNF special events, which again provide great networking opportunities and also opportunities to showcase the wonderful things that our scholars and leadership programme participants go on to achieve. So the costing model that we have developed is, as Greta said, been developed in consultation with chief nurses. And what we have decided to do is base this upon the number of nurses and midwives within your organisation. So our level 1 is for up to 1,000 nurses and midwives, and this is £1,000 per year. Level 2 is 1,000 to 3,000 nurses and midwives and £3,000 per year. And level 3 is anything over 3,000 nurses and midwives, and this is £3,000 to £5,000 per year. We would also like to talk to those of you who would like to join us integrated care systems and work out the most appropriate costing model to meet the makeup of your organisation. So the next steps, all of the information in detail is provided on our website, and we would encourage you to have a look at that and study it in more depth. There's an expression of interest form to complete, and once we receive that from you, you'll be contacted by one of our team to talk about any questions you have, and also to agree on the most appropriate tier for you and how you might process your payment. As soon as we receive that payment, every nurse and midwife in your organisation can start to access the benefits. A key person that you will all, I'm sure, be connected with as members is our Head of Membership and Alumni Engagement, Senegal. If you are FNF alumni, you will already know Sema. She has set up for us a very successful, established and engaged community of our alumni, and she's extending what she's learnt about that process across to our membership. So she's in an absolutely perfect position to really ensure our membership model is a resounding success. So just before we move on, I'm going to introduce you now to one of our early adopters, and that is Professor Jackie Riley. She's Director of Nursing at the National Services Scotland and also Professor of Infection Prevention Control at Glasgow Caledonia University. Now, for me, Jackie is the epitome of a clinical academic. Her research, her clinical practice, her expertise, and the way in which she influences policy at a national and international level is really an example to us all. She, as you would imagine, because of her specialist area of practice, she has been highly influential in the COVID-19 response and has even chaired one of the UK SAGE subgroups. Jackie is somebody that really does have a passion for nurses developing their political acumen, and so we are absolutely thrilled she has decided to join us as an early adopter of the Florence Nightingale Foundation Academy, but also not only as a member, she has agreed to chair our members' advisory group. So I'm very confident that that arm of our implementation is in extremely safe hands. We aren't unfortunately able to have Jackie here with us today because she's having a much deserved holiday, but she did record for us a short video talking to you about the reasons why she's chosen to join the Academy. And provided technology is kind to us, her video should play for you just now.
The Florence Nightingale Foundation is a fantastic organisation with real drive and energy to promote and influence clinical excellence. The staff involved in the foundation, their trustees and the alumni are an amazing set of people with a shared sense of purpose around sharing, learning, influencing and driving policy and practice in the UK as it relates to nursing and midwifery. So inspired was I by the foundation that I became a specialist advisor last year, and it was fantastic to see the academy being launched within the foundation this year in the Year of the Nurse. The academy is launched with a purpose of uniting and empowering nursing leadership across the whole of the UK, and members joining become part of that wide network of executive nurse leaders, and the opportunity to impact on policy and practice is enhanced by being a member. The benefits in being a member align really well with my own organisation's workforce development plan and succession planning for our own nurses and midwives. We're keen to build capacity and capability at the nursing executive level and ensure that we have successors in trail for those roles. And so as a result of that, when we looked at the purpose of the academy and the membership benefits, everyone said, yes, please, let's join. And I think other organisations will see those same benefits in alignment to their own organisation's goals. So I would encourage people to become a member. The more members there are in the academy, the greater the benefit there will be. And the opportunity to become the chair of the members advisory group is one that I'm really looking forward to, and joining that network and influencing policy and practice across the UK with our nursing and midwifery system.
Thank you very much, Jackie, for that. I know she's not here today, but I know that she's thinking of us at this time. So I would like to introduce you to Amon Sullivan. So many of you will know Amon. Amon is a very loyal alumni of ours. And probably most recently, you'll know him as Director of Nursing of the NHS Nightingale in London. So his day job, when he's not being seconded to do other amazing stuff, is the Chief Nurse at the Royal Marsden Hospital, which he started in January 2017. Before that, he was the Deputy Chief Nurse at UCLH in London, and before that, the Deputy Chief Nurse at Guy's and Tommy's, where he held lots of positions, including Head of Performance for Clinical Services and Head of Nursing for Surgery. He achieved his MSc in Critical Care from King's College London, and one other part of his role that if you know Amon, you may not know that he is a reservist in the British Army. So he's a British Army nursing officer, and he's been to and served in various conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan. So thank you very much, Amon, for your time this morning. Really appreciate it. I hand over to you now. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Greta, and thank you everybody who's joined this morning. I've just got a few moments to tell you a little bit about my journey with the foundation and also why I'm so excited about the academy and the future. So as a staff nurse in intensive care in Guy's Hospital many years ago, I can vividly remember some of my role models returning from foundation travel scholarships and them talking about the outcomes and the outputs of those scholarships, which is really exciting. Later, as a deputy chief nurse, I learned that many of the inspiring chief nurses that I worked with and I worked for were indeed leadership scholars. And that really kind of ignited my interest in the foundation. And in 2016, I was really fortunate to win a leadership scholarship with the foundation. And that was pivotal for me, really, because I was very much at a crossroads in my career. I wasn't really sure what to do. I was, do I become a chief nurse? Do I go back into clinical practice full time? It was a really important moment in my career. Through the mentorship and the personal development and the network to take the step to become a chief nurse, and I've never looked back. And I'm really indebted to the foundation for their support in helping me in my career. And I guess if I think about the foundation, and if you look at its history, of course, it's a direct legacy of Florence Nightingale. And she's always been pioneering and agile. And indeed, the foundation remains that way today, and hence the launch of the Academy. And again, as that's what makes the Academy so exciting. So as a chief nurse, and we're signing up straight away in the Marsden. We'll be first on the beach with our application. But seriously, as a chief nurse, it allows much greater reach into the profession and into the organisation. So many more nurses from all sorts of backgrounds can benefit from the foundation, as I have done. That's really important. So the numbers of staff who can benefit from the expertise in the foundation is greatly enhanced. And I guess the other thing about the foundation for me is it is about nurses, but actually it brings in leaders and experts from all different fields across medicine, science, industry, and that's what makes it really exciting. That's what makes it different from other leadership organizations who kind of sheep dip people through leadership courses. It's just not like that at all. It really does draw on the best of Britain and the best of different industries. Secondly, and really importantly, as a chief nurse, I believe the Academy is going to give us a much stronger voice to influence nationally on behalf of our nurses, but most importantly on behalf of our patients. So I think it will really be expand the foundation as the go-to independent voice of nurses in Great Britain. And again, that's really important. It's more important than ever, not just as it's the year of the nurse, but also the fact that nurses are in the spotlight for their great work during the pandemic. So I'm really proud to be associated with the foundation. We will be joining at the Royal Marsden, and I look forward to working with the foundation in the coming years. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amon. So now both Gemma and myself will take any questions you have through the question and answer function. The chat function has been disabled, so please don't try and use that. And Aisha, my Director of Comms, will chair the session. Just to remind you, at 1 and 7 o'clock tonight, BST, we will hold a Twitter chat session for you all. So please do join again then. Ask your nurses and midwives to join. It's been amazing. Thank you very much. And we will pick up the question and answer session then. And then at the end of that, I will finally round off this launch event.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Greta, and thank you to everyone who has sent in questions. We've had a really lovely comment just now about Amon's speech, saying it's very nice to see a male nurse comment, as he thought FNF only caters to female nursing professionals. So we can reassure you that men and women are both welcome, obviously, as scholars, and we're very proud to have them. So I'll kick off the questions. The question from Joan is, I can see a huge benefit for ICSs in England. Will membership be inclusive across the health and care system, and also from frontline to commissioning, policy, primary care, community and public health nursing roles, etc.? So Gemma or Greta, who do you think is best placed to answer that question?
I'm happy to, Aisha. So yes, Joe, thank you for that question. Yes, membership of the FNF Academy is available to all organisations across the health and social care sector, including the voluntary, charity and independent sectors. So, and that obviously will include commissioning. So all organisations can join as long as they either employ or when HEIs choose to join, either employ nurses or have nurses and midwives studying in their organisations.
Brilliant, thank you. And the next question is, okay, we'll just go up. Can nurse educators in HEIs join?
Gemma?
I'm happy to answer this one. So we did do some consultation when we were developing the membership model with educators in HEIs, and we certainly identified that there was a desire to join, and people could really see the benefits. But we did recognise that those benefits may well need adapting slightly to be able to cater to the student population and the specific needs of those working in a university setting. So our intention is that, yes, absolutely, educators will be able to join, but we would like to develop the membership benefits so that they specifically do meet those needs over the coming months.
Brilliant, thank you, Gemma. And here's another question for you as well, Gemma. To be a member of the Academy, must the most senior nurse in the organisation join, or can it be any senior nurse in the organisation within the immediate hierarchy?
So the member is the most senior nurse in the organisation, but as we said throughout the presentation, that the benefits are open to all. And it may be that the most senior nurse would like to delegate this responsibility or the key person to communicate to somebody within their team. So that would be entirely appropriate. But the member themselves is the most senior nurse in the organisation.
Fantastic. And Claire Whitehouse asks, how will the communications work through members? Will this be a dedicated website, forum, or communications via emails, etc.? Gemma, would you like to answer that?
Yes, so we will send out regular news bulletins as e-newsletters to members, and also stop the press whenever there's any new developments that we want to keep make your attention known to. As I mentioned in my presentation, there will be an annual members meeting also, so we'll join the members all together so that we can really start to gain that intelligence and ensure that the membership benefits are absolutely current and responsive. And the other way that we'll communicate is through our secure communities forum, our online forum. So that's a place where members will be able to connect with each other, but also with us. By having Sema as our head of membership, one of her key responsibilities is to ensure that continuous communication and engagement with our members. So she will be contacting members regularly, making sure they know exactly what benefits have been taken up by their organisation, encouraging them to promote various different elements of those things and providing them with materials to do so. So there will be a constant interaction between the member and also FNF Academy.
Fantastic. And Ruth Pierce has asked, does your leadership offer cover all bands of nurses and midwives, and is there a cost associated with the approval process?
So yes, it does. Anybody that is registered on the NMC register, including nurse and associates, is able to benefit from all of those things we described. No, there isn't an additional cost attached to the approval process. That's part of the membership benefits. So I think what Ruth's referring there to is any internal leadership programs where people would be seeking out co-branding. That, as I said before, is included in the membership benefits.
Fantastic. And Greety, maybe you can answer this one. Pearlie Thomas asks, how do you see the work of the foundation aligning with HEE and ICS workforce development agenda?
Really good question. Thank you for that. I would say that we have all of this while have really strongly communicated and aligned our work with HEE, and so everything that we do, we know is part of the workforce strategy for nursing and midwifery, including, as Gemma said, nursing associates. So it's part and parcel of what we do. We are there to support the nursing and midwifery workforce, and by all the work that we do, we are really supporting the HEE agenda. So thank you for that question. I think, Aisha, I didn't see this, but apparently Jill has got her hand up. Is she still there?
I'm just checking. Jill, I cannot see Greta.
No? Okay.
Sorry, Jill, if you did have your hand up, do ask a question through the Q&A as well. And Gemma, this is one for you. Claire Whitehouse has actually sent through a follow-up question about the communications. It was just about all the communications going to the member in question. She loves the Academy idea, but she is conscious that if a member is a DRN chief nurse, they could get swamped with a lot of communications.
So absolutely, if it feels appropriate to your organisation, then we can nominate. The chief nurse or the most senior nurse could nominate the key person to communicate with. It would be entirely up to them to do that, but provided they give us the right communication and contact information, we'll be very happy to follow that line of delegation.
Fantastic. And Gracie, this is a question for you, one that is very close to our hearts as well. Vaseem Ahmed Khan asks, can nursing professionals from a BAME background and diaspora organisations join the FNF Academy?
So if those nurses are working in organisations where their chief nurse is the member, then of course automatically the membership benefits will permeate out to those nurses and midwives. So a really important question, and probably I'm certain that our communications have gone out now that we are really doing our absolute utmost to support BAME nurses and midwives in the organisations through leadership development opportunities. So as a BAME nurse or midwife, if your chief nurse, director of nursing, executive director of nursing is a member of the FNF Academy, those benefits will be supported and will be available to you as well.
Fantastic, thank you, Greta. Michael Fanning asks, will there be consideration to an associate membership for directors of nursing who've recently left the NHS and who wish to contribute to the leadership community?
Oh, I'd love to answer that, could I?
Yes, please, Greta, over to you.
Michael, that is amazing. Thank you so much. We haven't got membership for retired directors of nursing or ones that have left the NHS and perhaps gone somewhere else. If you're an NHS, if you are now a chief nurse in another organisation, not the NHS, then of course you could be a member. However, if you're retired, we've got lots of ideas that you could help us. So you don't need to be a member. There's not a membership fee, but we will certainly rein you in if your hand's up there wanting to support us. Thank you.
Fantastic. And Gemma has one for you. Can we hear a little more about how we can align the FNF branding to our internal leadership programs?
Yes, so we've developed an internal approval process where we'll ask you to send us just a couple of documents, including a programme specification and a kind of reflective account, really, to show how the development and the implementation and evaluation of your programme is aligned with the FNF core principles of leadership development. And that will be looked at by one of the internal FNF team and also a member of our advisory group. And provided it meets that criteria, then we will provide you with the logos and any other materials that are helpful to co-brand. And as I said in the presentation, the opportunity then to advertise that through our communication channels for you to use in your internal recruitment and marketing processes as well.
Fantastic. And another one for you as well, Gemma. Owen Barr asks, is there a time frame for extending the membership of the FNF Academy to colleagues in higher education?
So colleagues in higher education absolutely can join straight away. The benefits that we're looking to develop specifically for students will be coming over the next few months. So that's in our timelines for the first quarter of the membership implementation is to ensure that we're also meeting the needs of those who are working and also studying in HEIs.
Fantastic. And here's another one for you as well, Gemma. Do you see the FNF Academy as an opportunity to link in, support the NIHR Nursing and Midwifery Incubator in developing clinical academic careers? I guess either you or Greta could answer that.
Gemma, I'm happy to answer. You might want to jump in as well. I would like to say that whatever we are doing will align to all our national chief nurse, all our arm's length organisation strategies. So when it comes to the NHR, of course, we are really keen to support clinical academic careers. We've done that over the last couple of years where we've had interns who've been aligned to our FNF clinical professors of nursing and midwifery. And we do have some more ideas for the future, but absolutely certainly our research scholars have have been aligned to the NHR, and we will continue to make certain that we don't veer off what's really important to the NHR or the equivalent in the other countries. Gemma, do you want to say something?
Yes, actually, the idea to co-brand internal leadership development programs did come from somebody that was developing a clinical academic pathway for nurses that was internal to their organisation, and that was something that we thought, actually we really do want to be able to support this and offer that as Amon said, that expertise that we have within our networks to that agenda. So not just the clinical academic pathways that are supported by NHR, but through all of the other ways that organisations are ensuring that research development amongst their workforce is embedded into their workforce strategies. So yeah, absolutely, that's something that we are hugely supportive of, and would really like to see our member organisations take advantage of that particular benefit.
Fantastic. And Gemma, here's another question from Julie Pierce. She asks, do you see an opportunity to focus on some specialty areas in supporting and championing themes such as end-of-life care and tapping into the collective expertise of the members?
Absolutely, Julie. That what you've described there is exactly how we see this working. Through the networking, we can link individual practitioners together with others working in all different types of organisations to share their collective expertise and become a very significant and influential voice. And our role will be to give those groups the right platforms to have influence both at a local but also a national and potentially international level. So absolutely, the themes that we'll focus on will be very much impacted by our members' priorities. So at the moment we have particular themes focusing around learning disability and mental health workforce, continence care, deteriorating patients. Those kinds of things are what we're looking at from an FNF policy perspective at the current time. But each year, at the annual membership meeting, we will be asking our members to set the priorities for the FNF policy work, and we will then mobilise all of that resource within our networks to ensure that nursing voice is the driving force that we enable to really have impact.
Brilliant. And Greta, maybe you can answer the next question from Siobhan. She's asked, can we chat through how those in CCGs, CSUs get involved? The numbers can be quite small, she says, but this group of staff do some wonderful work, and it would be either as part of a broader ICS or via ICS, CNS, CCG chief nurses. Is it either or?
Not necessarily. We as Gemma said, we are happy to look at where the model fits best with either a CCG on their own or a CCG as part of an ICS. So really happy, Siobhan, if we pick that up a bit later on. Certainly we can customise that fee to fit. So some
apologies, we're having a few technical issues.
And perhaps I can just say that, so what we would encourage Siobhan to do is to complete our expression of interest form, and one of our team will contact her and speak specifically about the circumstances she's describing, and we'll work out the most appropriate fit.
Fantastic. And maybe you can answer the next question, Gemma, talking about our international scope as well. And Vasim is asking, he says, I believe the Academy is going to be international. Therefore, are there any plans for FNF Academy to involve the developing countries?
Shall I answer that, Gemma?
I might want to ask this one. Yeah, I thought you might.
We don't want to argue about it. But really good question about the international membership. What the board decided in the first instance is to do a UK membership, and have the idea that we will bring back to the board in December to finalise in March, so 2021, what the membership organisation would look like for an international. So we absolutely know the Florence Nightingale brand is enormous, not just in the UK, but across the world. So it'll be a slightly different version to the UK version, but for certain we will have an international membership model that can be as applicable to developing countries as to those across the USA, Australasia. And we have an idea that some of our educational packages will be free at the point of using them, and that will be particularly useful and important for the developing countries. And so that will be the same for across the world. So some educational packages that we're going to develop will be free, but the rest will be part of the one of the membership benefits. Gemma, did you want to add anything?
No, that sounds spot on. It's all in the plan.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And that's it for the Q&A. And Greta and Gemma, do you want to talk to people about the Twitter chat as well? That would be great.
So I guess what I want to say, Aisha, before we finish is, whilst this brings us to the end of the launch event, we hope that we've presented you and given you lots of reasons to become a member. As you might hear, we're so excited about this. This is the next stage in the Florence Nightingale Foundation. It's been a long time coming, but we are really so grateful to the many chief nurses that have helped us along the way. But I actually, before we close, I want some special thank yous. I'm hoping that Jill's still on the line, but firstly, I want to say a special thank you to Professor Dane Jill Macleod Clark. She's an FNF trustee, but more importantly, a nursing legend. Jill said to me over 2 years ago, Greta, why can't we have FNF members? And ever since then, she's selflessly helped me to develop that vision. And I guess from one nursing legend to another, thank you to our chair, Dame Yvonne Moores, who has steered the trustees to support this ambition. And thank you very much for your unfailing guidance. Thank you both to Amon and Jackie for the time that you've given to our launch event and supporting it, and the reasons why you want to join, or you are joining, and you are becoming the early adopters. And lastly, to my amazing team who've taken this idea and made it a reality. Thank you really so much for all your hard work and all the behind the scenes to get to this point. So as Aisha reminded us, Gemma and I, to mention the Twitter chat later on at 1 o'clock today and at 7 o'clock this evening with our Twitter handle, and that is, oh goodness, oh yes, at FNF Academy membership. Please do go onto our website and register your interest if you're interested in becoming a member, and again if you want to explore more about the membership benefits. So that concludes our event today. Thank you very much for your time and interest in joining us, and a very special thank you to all of you. It's a hard time at the moment, and we're really hoping that you find the fortitude to get through the next winter. So thank you once again. Thank you, Gemma, Aisha, all the team, amazing. And we look forward to hearing from you very soon.